There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house. You don't know what that song is?
I don't know that song.
That's WAP by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. I feel like a really, really old person that I just said that. Like there's an alarm somewhere and someone's going to come arrest me. You're over 30 and talking about WAP. It stands for wet ass pussy. Your face.
Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé. Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown. 90-day Beyonce. Marrying someone you only met on your phone. Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love. It's 90-day gate. Let's love.
Well, now I'm disgusted.
No, there's nothing wrong with a wet ass pussy.
There's nothing wrong with the wet ass pussy, but I don't want it.
I can't believe I just had to say that. There's nothing wrong with the wet ass pussy.
There's no. I mean, as I said, many a man has made my man pussy wet.
Now that's gross.
Y'all,
That's gross.
Summer camp 2002. Mark Yeager makes my man pussy wet.
And everyone else was like,
and that's his real name. And if you know where he is, send me the link.
no, it's that song. I'd heard it a little
Good
bit.
for Cardi B.
It's quite the definition of sex positivity.
Good for her.
For a woman. But some people were freaking out, but if a man had put something out, like, no one would bat an eye.
My wet slimy dick.
That's not hot either. So maybe not. Maybe you shouldn't think about porn.
So you don't think a wet uncut dick is attractive if a man? Let me finish.
No one's saying slimy.
Oh, even if it's a little slimy and close your eyes. He's
No one's gonna know if I actually close my eyes.
He does. He's about
Get to it.
5'10". He's got broad shoulders. He's got fur in his chest, a nice black beard. His name is Juan, and he doesn't speak English, and he's slapping you in the face with that wet slimy dick.
Challenge accepted.
There we are.
Slimy is not a good word.
It's not a good word.
No.
It's not a good word. Yo, welcome to 90 Day Gays.
Yo, listen to WAP. Listen to wet ass pussy.
Good for her.
Yeah.
I love an acronym in a positive way.
Doesn't make any sense.
Well, there's acronyms that aren't good.
That's
that are, you know.
I guess. Well, they're having to do it because of necessity.
Yeah.
It's not. She didn't say, I want my song to be called WAP.
You know
or
what?
WAP.
Y'all, we don't have a lot of announcements, so I'm going to talk about something that I thought about.
Great.
How come we need to start being able to cuss on TV in this country? I think it's ridiculous.
I kind of agree.
Because I was watching, you watch like Pose, they say whatever you want.
It's cable, yeah.
I was watching Tombstone on the Paramount Network, and they're just saying fuck all over the place.
Who knew Wyatt Earp said fuck so much?
I don't think that's about Wyatt Earp. Not Tombstone. I said Tombstone. It's about Yellowstone.
Okay.
But he was in Tombstone as well.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner, he likes some Stone shows, movies.
The funniest thing is I understood where you were going, but you fucked up, and you still made that better.
But still, they say fuck on the Paramount Network.
Okay.
I mean, that's cable. That's very middle America.
I think we should.
Conservative.
It's up to parents to decide what their kids can see.
I think so too.
Yeah, it's. I find this whole clutch our pearls puritanical thing for America
with cuss words,
it's not like that in Europe.
They just show people's butts.
Yeah,
I don't know if they show boobs
in Europe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, they show dicks.
Let's move. Why am I here? What's happening?
Let's chart an ocean liner. Wait, not going on a cruise. No.
We are though. We're gonna go on a Sissy cruise one day.
When this whole shit gets
Bill Bullware, you can just sit at home in your glory hole, but we're gonna go on a cruise. We do have an exciting announcement to make.
We do have an exciting announcement, you guys.
A really big,
By the way,
fucking announcement.
We should announce this is Hey.
This is Hey. Happily Ever After. This episode.
Question mark.
Yeah, this episode is what is it?
I didn't write it down.
I did. It
was like 4 words.
Episode 9 of season 5 called Burnt Bridges and Bitter Truths. That sounds like a country song.
I know.
Your burnt bridges and your bitter truths coming at me like a Dr. Ruth.
No more. Baby Ruth is better.
Well, Dr. Ruth, she gives it to you straight. Baby Ruth is better.
Yeah.
Now I want a Baby Ruth. Y'all.
You're really loud in my ear.
What? I'm not loud.
Loud in my ear.
So
why can't you appreciate my sensitivities issues?
I do nothing but appreciate it. Y'all, are you going to tell the announcement? I'll let you tell the announcement.
I'll let you. Why not?
Y'all,
we're on Clapback. You're like Lucy in the football. Y'all, we're on 90-day, whatever the fuck it's called,
90-day
Clapback.
Before
the 90 days.
They showed a preview this week, so if you don't watch Clapback...
Because you hate those people like we do.
Next week, we've known about this, and we
were quiet about it.
But Darcy is going to be watching our first Darcy and Stacy video. So it's Jake and I in ratty-ass wigs.
And ratty-ass wigs, full beards.
And Jake wearing concealer for lipstick.
Concealer on my lips. And Darcy is watching us like, what the fuck?
So be sure to check that out, Clapback, next week.
As a child growing up, I never imagined I would be impersonating a woman and then her watching a woman watch that.
Yes.
It's like 3 levels of meta.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So she's going to have something to say about us, guys. We were in the preview. We were in the trailer, which means we're going to be in the show.
They said we couldn't say till something airs. But they aired it.
It aired.
Fuck it.
It aired.
It aired.
And we may have another little surprise for you later in the season.
Who knows? We do. Anyway.
Anyway, so y'all, if you see it, Instagram it and retweet it if you want to.
Yeah. Watch, maybe TLC will retweet. Let us know. Give a hoe a shake and give us a shake.
Let a hoe know.
Let a hoe know. Because share. What did you say? Not sharing is caring. You said, what did you say one time? It was good, and I don't remember.
I don't know.
You don't ever remember what you say.
I say a lot of things.
This is what I deal with.
I say a lot of things.
Anyway, I think that's it for our announcements. We've got...
I think that's it.
This is a normal week. We've got...
Not really.
Happily Ever After.
Ever After. We got Toe tomorrow. Then we have... Well, tonight it's airing. But then we have Darcy and Stacy next Sunday. Sunday.
Yeah, we don't have a Bi-Curious this week. We've got a calm rest of the week.
The Bi-Curious drops on Friday.
Yeah. And then, what is today? Then next week, y'all, don't forget, the 22nd is our 1-year anniversary of our show.
We've got to talk about that show.
We do. So,
send us, you guys, either go to the website, Sissy That Talk, or, 90daygays.com, and submit your, submit what you like. I might lay an egg. Or submit your favorite moment. You can send us a little email.
We've gotten a couple of emails, so
yay.
And
we may read what you've written.
We did have
I may impersonate you poorly.
We did have one email from a young gay sissy who said, help, I'm dating a Disney gay. He's been to Disney 8 times. Should I keep dating him?
Wait, only 8 times in his life or 8 times this year?
I think 8 times in his life. I'll send it to you.
That's a lot.
You know what, sissy? It's a lot. If he has a big dick, stay in it.
You need to decide if you're going to be able to handle... my advice here is, will you be able to handle him collecting pins? or collectible plates.
I think they're cute.
And occupying a place in your home.
I really like the Disney Halloween collection with all the Haunted Mansion stuff.
No,
that is cute.
no. Yeah, listen. This is not. None of this is acceptable.
Listen, I am just boys. All right. So that's it, y'all. 22nd anniversary, which means the week of the 16th through the 22nd. All of the Patreon content is for free.
Free.
So it'll be on the regular feed as well. So y'all come at us that week. So, okay.
Okay, let's get into
Let's
it.
do it.
Let's get into it.
We only did 9 minutes of announcements.
That's a win.
Wow, that's a win for y'all.
Yo, let's start with Colt.
That's one,
everyone's favorite
less,
fat fuck.
It's true. That's one less 2-star review we get that says, they talk too long at the beginning.
You know what, honey? This is the show.
Yeah.
If you don't like this, if you don't like the intro,
move on.
Move on.
All right, Colt.
This is the show.
Colt and Jessica.
So you guys, Jess has just walked out of the room. Colt is, as she says, not man enough to
Whatever that means.
tell Vanessa to fuck off. And Mother Debbie very innocently says, I didn't know I didn't know that she'd be very upset like that.
Yeah, I was worried.
And Mother Debbie knows everything. Then Mother Debbie continues to twist the knife.
Hold on, I just
basically.
want to say this before you said, y'all, what we're about to talk about was a master class in manipulative mothering.
Oh, yes.
I mean, a true master class. Like,
I bow to you, Sensei.
Yeah,
it was good.
Even Mother Poodle would go.
Shit. That bitch knows what she's doing.
Yeah. So anyway, y'all.
So you guys,
Leona Helmsley's looking down from heaven and going, "That's a strong bitch.
That's a cold-hearted bitch."
Remember when Suzanne Plachette played her in a movie?
Yes.
It was good.
Yes.
It was riveting. I loved it.
If you are under 30, you have no idea who Leona Helmsley is.
Or Suzanne Plachette. I love Suzanne Plachette. Is she dead? I don't think so.
Maybe. You know what? I don't know.
Hey, serious, Suzanne Plachette alive?
I think we spend a lot of time asking if people are still alive.
Suzanne Plachette was born January 31st,
Good for her.
1937, and died
I'm proud
January
for her.
19th, 2008.
Oh, she died in 2008.
Oh,
boy, I missed that.
Been dead a long time.
You know what? Okay.
Okay.
Well,
rest in peace,
rest in
Suzanne
peace.
Plachette. So it's either we find out they're alive, or we find out they're dead. Like, that's sad. Rest in peace. Anyway, talking about dicks.
Anyway, talking about dicks.
They deserve such a good tribute on our show.
You know, we thought of her.
That's all that matters.
Anyway, y'all.
She goes in. First, Mama Debbie says, well, this looks like a repeated Larissa coming here.
She does say that. And then she says, I just don't understand that. How she accept that? If she can't accept that, that's
what's she gonna do with all your friends?
And she's like, "Do you want that Colt?
Yeah.
Do you want?" And then she says,
"Yeah, asking questions. That's like a lawyer tactic."
Yes.
Yeah, she's got it split down.
Then she said, "That's a warning sign."
Yeah, she says things are warning signs.
And Colt, Mr. Oh, I can't. You know what this reminded me of? This reminded me of, like, honestly, like, that movie that we loved with Judy Davis and her son.
A little thing called Murder.
Y'all, if you haven't seen that Lifetime movie...
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
It's one of the best Lifetime movies.
If we could stream it, we would do that for a watch it because that movie's amazing.
I would actually, I would actually just have us act it out.
It's
scene
so
by scene.
good. I have the DVD. I bought a screener.
She kills her husband, y'all, and the son kills her.
The son kills her, but she manipulates her son to do it.
Yeah.
But all the time, like when he kills them, he like cries to mom, and he's like, "Mommy, I don't understand."
It's okay, son.
And that's what this
That's kinda
reminded
what
me
this
of.
is,
Because
yeah.
Colt's like, she gets angry, and I don't know what to do because I'm not manipulative or a fucking psychopath at all.
Yeah, you are.
You are.
Anyway, she's like, I think you should come and just move down here, and you can just suck on my titty all night long.
Sorry, people with
And
sound.
she's like, I don't know if she's gonna. She stuck her hand in my face. She might just throw something. She might just hit you in the head while you're sleeping and kill you.
Yeah, which that's something my mama would say.
Anyway, y'all.
Which she wasn't far off.
And then she leaked. Colt's like, but I need to go find her, and I need to, and he walks out. She goes,
says, hold on, before he says that, he says, I'm paralyzed with fear right now, and I don't want the new. And Debbie looks at him and says, the couch folds out.
that's true.
Anyway, go ahead.
He did. He also, you guys, this is so weird, and I don't even know. One of two things are happening here. This is how this went, and if Jess is faking, she's a really good actor.
Very good actor.
His affect is so flat the entire time. It's creepy as fuck.
It is so sociopathic.
Yeah.
Flat. Like he doesn't
He's
even feel it.
trying
He's
to give himself
trying
emotions.
To give himself emotion. Yep.
Yeah.
The good call. That is totally.
And the whole time just like gave me chills at how flat he was.
Colt
Terrifying.
Colt scares me probably more than anybody on 90 Day Fiancé.
Yeah, he's pretty out there.
He's pretty like chilling to me.
So you guys, they.
But yeah, he walks out of the
leaves
room.
and she goes, "Damn,
Damn.
I didn't get him to completely come over here and give me tongue kisses
It's
yet."
true. But anyway, so and then we started to move on. But then, y'all, we were watching this on Poodle Sling on his TiVo 4K. Get it? I love it. Anyway, we hear a little scratch in the TV, and suddenly, we hear very dramatic, kind of like soap opera music, like.
We'll see how this goes.
We almost got him, Mom. We're so close.
Thanks for all your help, Pee-wee.
I tried the best I could, Mom.
Y'all,
I know.
This is a conversation between Debbie and her mole. This is a conversation between Debbie's mole and Debbie. Please continue.
Pee-wee, what do you think we should do in the future? How do you think we should get rid of Jess for good?
Well, I like a good push off a cliff, but I love some poisoning. Maybe we could
very
poison
good.
her.
Very good tactic.
We see she likes to drink, and maybe Cole will eat it too, and then we'll be rid of him. It'll just be you and me, Mom.
We could just, maybe we could just poison her and something to kill her very slowly so we could watch her.
Ooh, maybe like contacts. She would hate that because she sure loves those fucking glasses.
It's true. Those glasses make her look like Egghead from the Looney Tunes. Foghorn Leghorn's nephew.
That weirded me out, Mom. I'm scared. Please
It's
hold
okay,
me.
Pee-wee.
Think of something evil.
I will hold you and rub you. Oh, honey, Sonny, you're getting a little hair there. There's a little hair. You're becoming a mole man.
I think my balls dropped, Mom.
And then the camera pans out and and then they just hug each other the whole night.
And fiend. That's what we saw, y'all. That's what we saw.
That's her real son.
That's our real side. Y'all, that mole wants Colt. She wants Colt gone, or he.
Let's say she.
I don't know if the mole has gender.
I don't know. Let's
just
not
say
gender
they.
that mole.
Let's just say they. Let's just say
I don't
they.
know. I think it has to be a boy because she would have popped or had a girl mole removed.
Yeah, that's just true. It's true.
Or just cut it off with a cleaver.
So now Cole does say after he's like, it's obvious to me that my mom is trying to break up my relationship with Jess.
Do you have eyes?
I was actually kind of surprised Cole realized that because
no, he's smart. He gets it.
So then he goes to his hotel room and nobody's there, so he's kind of sitting there. But then we see Jess got Vanessa's phone number.
She's got the phone number, and she is
a woman possessed.
She's going nuts, y'all.
That's why I don't think this.
She's
was
a
fake.
woman on the verge.
She is a woman, and y'all. And so she texted Vanessa and she said, Jess says, "Are you having a relationship with Colt?" Vanessa responded, "Yes" to that.
Yeah. Well, in
Now-
other words, that they talk.
Yes, if they talk. And
Then,
I
y'all,
think Debbie
this is
found that too.
insidious. Then Jess sends her the fake messages that Colt supposedly sent Vanessa that were like, "Oh yeah, Vanessa, I can't talk to you anymore. It's over between you and I." That Jess wanted her to send.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
that was hard to get. I had to rewind because it kind of happened quickly and with her talking accent.
Yeah.
Y'all, that's what we want to clarify. Colt sent fake messages to Jess that he
Yeah.
had called
And he's a
things off.
computer person, so I'm sure he figured out how to do it.
Oh, that's easy.
It was probably he like looked at Vanessa and nothing was sent.
Yeah, exactly.
And Jess is like, "Oh yeah, sure."
Sure.
So that would I think Jess is kind of cuckoo for Cuckoo Puffs.
Oh, yeah.
But that would piss me off.
Maybe not as much if it pisses off Jess, but that would enrage me a bit.
Yeah.
So Jess's response to this is to go back to the room and talk to Colt.
And throw her shoes at him.
She just keeps screaming, "You lie! You lie!"
She
you
Patty
lie."
LaBelle's him, y'all.
And then why? Oh, because her shoe.
She throws shoes at a
She
concert.
does throw her shoes. And
Am I going to have to explain that to
no,
you
well, I
again?
didn't know because I was saying you lie, you lie, you lie.
Oh.
And then I thought of that Reba. You lie. You don't want to hurt me.
How do you know?
So you lie in your time.
How do you,
I'm
you
almost
know
done.
so much.
But you know how much I love you, so you lie.
Pull back on the mic. You really know her back catalog.
You lie. I do. I'm from Oklahoma. I met Reba when I was 6. She's from Durant. That's just 40
And she's
minutes
like,
from Lone
"Why,
Grove.
if it isn't the cutest little faggot."
It's true. Well, remember my cousin Lolo opened for her.
Yeah,
at the
I know.
Roy Murphy, Will Rogers, Hardy Murphy
Everyone
Coliseum.
knows.
Anyway, I
Cousin Lolo's cuckoo now, y'all.
y'all, she is. I think she's in a cult. But anyway, y'all, if you want to listen to some good Reba, get volume 1 of her
It's
number
called
ones.
Greatest Hits or Number Ones.
Yes,
I don't know that one. I don't know
good.
You Lie.
it's good.
Anyway.
It's got like 4 different vowels in the way she's like,
You lie.
So many.
So she kind of physically pushes him, which I was kind of thought something would.
I wasn't scared for Colt because she's
an
an
like
ape compared
4'5".
to her. But I was like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah, physical stuff is not good.
Yeah, this is not good.
So she basically says, "I'm going to go to my ex's house because you are trash."
She's like,
I think I've said that before.
And she said something else. Poodle said, "I'm going to go fuck another man."
Been there.
And
or when they're finishing, or when they're putting on their clothes, I'm like clicking on my phone. Tick, 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 tick. You up?
And so then
You down?
Then we do this dance of them running to the elevator and
It's
her
so
running out of
awful.
it, running to the elevator,
It should
running
have-
back and forth.
That
then-
Home Alone theme.
Yes, and then going in the elevator. And y'all, we have a special guest here at 90 Day Gays today. We actually have the cameraman,
Okay.
Gary.
I wonder who that was.
who had to film. And that Gary, you know that person that was in the elevator and barely had any room and was just sitting there?
Yes.
Y'all, that's Gary. Gary's
Welcome,
here today.
Gary.
Oh,
Oh wait. I guess I'm Gary. I love when we introduce a special segment and you just say, "Oh, it's me."
I'll be Gary. I don't care.
No. Obviously, I have no. Okay, God, I love y'all. He does this on purpose and completely throws shit at me all the time. I'm surprised I can do any of it.
All right.
All right.
Y'all. Oh, Gary, so glad you're here in the show today.
Thank you. It's wonderful to see you, and it's wonderful to be here at 90 Day Gays.
Gary, you sound a lot like our friend Frank.
No,
his mother.
Frank is more down here.
Oh, are you related to Frank?
It's nice to know that because I'm actually his son.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I know Brittany and Mary quite well.
Have you ever masturbated and promptly thrown up before? Or
Now
after?
that was quite blown out of proportion.
Okay.
I need to tell you.
That
Mary is a godly woman. She's done her best. But my father was at a strip club, and there was a woman acting quite loose around him.
Oh, okay.
And he did the best he could. He promptly vomited, went home, masturbated to a porno,
Okay.
and that's what happened.
But that's
I can say I'm not here to talk about that, and my reps don't want me talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a current lawsuit involved.
Okay. So Gary, we got to
So
know.
I work for camera for TLC.
Okay. So what's it like? Describe the energy of in the room of that elevator as y'all were going down.
Well, have you seen the cartoon with Foghorn Leghorn actually walking around and talking to his nephew?
Yes.
They kind of reenacted that. So he's like, well, I say, boy, I want you to come here and be my lover.
No, I don't want to.
No, I say, boy, I'm going to teach you how to be a man. Blah, 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 blah. If it's not blah, 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 some southern redneck shit. No, I hate you. And then she threw her glasses at him.
Oh.
And, and then she didn't look like Egghead no more.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I knew.
Okay.
Anyway, the whole thing was really hard to take in. Right now, I'm very sad about this. I dropped my cheese Danish.
Oh.
That's the big tragedy of the whole episode.
Final question. What does Colt smell like?
A kind of a combination. A combination of, like the way like Pine Sol smells and that smell of like when you pull up carpet and it smells like old mold.
Yeah.
And add in Frito chili cheese. The flavor, my personal favorite.
That was very Gary, thank you so much for
You're
being
so welcome.
here. We appreciate. Best of luck to you.
Yeah, gonna battle with my pocket.
I'm
on my own. I see.
We'll Venmo
Au
you.
revoir, audience. I've really enjoyed being here.
Thank you, Gary. Poodle, you just missed Gary.
Oh,
you just missed Gary.
I always miss them,
Cameraman
especially
Gary.
the ones you randomly bring in. He did sound a little bit like Frank.
He did sound a little bit like Frank.
Higher.
He was
A little
right about
higher.
that foghorn lug. Y'all, that poor Gary, that cameraman in there dealing with this shit.
Some PTSD.
Running out, because then they run out to the street.
Yeah.
And nothing happens. She just fucking leaves and says,
I'm going to go fuck another guy.
And he said, I loved you. I was going to marry you. And she says, fuck you.
And then it's even the flattest affect he has.
It is. He's not. He just says, I'm freaking out. I'm not good.
I'm devastated. I don't know. I may just jump off the building.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
If you're with someone who can't have them, who they just talk about their emotions and you don't see them having them, that's a red flag.
That's a giant red flag.
Yeah.
Giant. Do not marry that person. Do not have children with them.
And unfortunately, men in this, especially straight men, aren't really taught to access any emotion besides anger. We've said that before.
It's true.
But you can see them trying to have it.
Yes. A lot of times, people that have more of those tendencies are men, just because men can get away with it. Because women, we expect to be more emotional because of conditioning.
Yep. What are you saying?
Except for Poodle. Anyway.
Can we move on to Kalani and Asuelu?
Yes.
Asuelu.
So, so a sissy came for us, y'all, and what came about this, and I agree. I don't know why they're staying an hour away in Washington. I've been to Portland many times. You can get a very cute Airbnb in Portland for not much money. So
maybe they
really don't have, which I guess they don't. They really don't have money if they got an Airbnb. And I'm saying this to give, not judging them, but more to give context to this. If they're staying in an Airbnb in Washington, that means they need a place that's like fucking $70 a night because that's all they can afford.
And a place with ghosts, evidently.
Yeah, because you can get a really cute Airbnb in Portland. You could get one for like $180 a night.
I think that's way too out of their price range.
I think it is.
Yeah.
So I say that not to judge them, but more of just like...
Yeah. I mean, they're living with her parents.
Yeah. I thought her parents lived with her. That's what I
Really?
thought. I thought someone said her parents live with her, and I was like,
How
"That's
do they?
her."
How do they afford
They can't.
that?
They're living with their parents. That's what I thought because she doesn't work. She does work. She takes care of the kids, but she doesn't get paid.
She doesn't work outside the home.
Yeah. Yes, that's a good way to say it.
That's the general way we.
Anyway,
talk about
y'all,
it now.
this place is fucking haunted, kind of like Poodle's apartment.
But unlike my apartment, one person can poop here.
Oh, yes, that's
You're not
true.
scared by a young girl.
It is funny how he couldn't poop and she couldn't pee. They just basically were just.
Oh, these two are fucked.
But you do see, this is kind of the first time in all this season, you do see kind of like how Kalani and Asuelu can get along and kind of.
You can, but at the same
just like,
time,
what do y'all have in
she's
common?
she's having to placate him so much, and I feel like this is a very strong woman who's having just to constantly talk herself down from a ledge, saying, "I'm married and I have 2 children with this man."
I agree with that. Do you think, in addition to that, is there the idea of, we don't know, so come at us, Samoa and
She
sissies.
gave him her flower.
But they've talked a lot, she gave him
Too.
her flower, and they've talked a lot about Samoa, and being that they are, I mean, her father is, being that they're culturally Samoa.
They don't
although her
seem
mom
like
is
it.
not.
Yeah.
Although her mom is not. Her mom doesn't seem like she's waiting on her dad hand and foot.
No, mom's aggressive. Mama Kalani. So we see Kalini. Kalini comes in. Kalani.
Oh, yeah.
Rhyming names. And she comes in, and he's like, Zoela's like, I think she invited her sister so she have someone on her side. No, she needed someone who when she's there, she doesn't have to wipe their kid's butt every time because you can't do a shit.
Exactly.
Exactly. So he's excited to have a good time, and hopefully no one is going to mad at him.
No one going to mad at me.
And so by the way, the kids are still in fucking pajamas. This is like, I haven't seen them in anything but pajamas the whole time. Now, this is not quarantine. The kids are just not, but the kids just
They wear
don't have
pajamas a
clothes.
lot.
Yeah. I'm sure that's the easiest choice when you're dealing with Asuelu. But come on.
I know.
I think they did get in real clothes to meet Mama and Tammy.
It sounds hard, though, too, because it sounds like that youngest baby is just really attached to Kalani.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's hard, because she can't do anything.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
They don't even have the money to pay their kids' clothes. They just have pajamas. They have cute pajamas, though.
They do. But still, Jackie Weissman judged them.
She's like, my kid doesn't wear anything, basically.
Yeah.
So anyway, they see they're in Portland. They're meeting Tammy and Rosa who's deaf, and she's like, "Remind me, does everyone speak sign language?" She's like, "Nope, only Tammy."
Only Tammy.
So mom
never learned it.
apparently-
So her own daughter, she was like, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Nonverbal. Most communication's nonverbal anyway. It's fine.
Which goes to my theory of something's wrong with mom. We're going to talk about that more.
I think
but
Asuelu nails it at the end when he's like, I realized that my family only calls me when they need money.
Well, Kalani said that, and so he realized,
he
what
said
she
that.
Said.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think, I've said this before, y'all, and it makes so much sense. If you want to understand someone and you don't know, meet their parents.
Yep.
Because, boy, you see how Asuelu is trying to actually try to improve his life. You actually,
And
I feel
everything,
like
and
you
everything
start
is
to see that.
because how fucked up it is because...
And I had sympathy for him.
Yeah. It only lasts so long for
Just
me.
it'll go back. Anyway, they're in Pioneer Square in Portland. That place is beautiful, by the way. I love Pioneer Square.
It's a beautiful city.
It's just so y'all know, because we're going to talk about this. It was kind of where food trucks were, I guess, born in the U.S.
I think that's right.
Some of the best fucking food I've ever had.
Oh,
is
I'm
in
sure.
Portland. I'm surprised you haven't fucked someone from Portland.
I've only been one time.
Did you fuck someone when you were there?
I didn't, unfortunately.
It's kind of your type.
It is. If people weren't such douchebags, I would.
They don't. Even our tour guide, though, said once when we did the Portland Gorge and all that, some of the most gorgeous part of the country I've ever seen. He said, because he wasn't originally from Portland, he's like, I love Portland. One problem with Portland, everyone takes themselves too seriously.
That's
here.
the truth.
And they do.
It's like San Francisco in that way.
Yeah.
Everyone, yeah.
Anyway.
A lot of Pacific Northwest stuff.
So they're in Pioneer Square. That's the brick little area. And he sees his mom.
And she goes,
then
"Oh,
suddenly
the boys! I'm dreaming. Wait, we should do. No, that's later.
That's later.
So we should. So the mom's like, I've been dreaming about you boys every night. Yeah, she's buttering them up.
Butter him up every night.
So they're saying, and their mom's name is Lucina, but I would prefer to call her Mama Asuelu.
Mama Asuelu. Me too.
It
Same.
works better.
Mm-hmm.
So Tammy is she's like, we need to talk about the kiss.
If you wanna know if he loves you so, it's in his kiss. Whoa, even though it's your son, that's
Now,
where it is.
I've got to say, unlike Kalani, she kisses him, you guys. Her lips kind of move off his lips a little bit,
So it might have been to the side,
but she's still kind of awkwardly pressing his lips without moving for, I don't know if this was edited. It felt like 3 minutes for me.
It did.
And it felt like 10 minutes for Kalani and Kalini.
Yes.
I feel like a ridiculous asshole when I say their names together.
It
Anyway.
feels like you're being like some type of like racist
No,
or something.
that's their names.
I know, but I mean that's the Kalani and Kalini.
I know.
Can't we just change it up a little bit?
Nope.
Maybe it's a family
I'm
thing.
sure it is. Yeah.
Maybe that's what you do in the family.
It's like Brad and Tad. Or didn't you know?
Brad and Chad, those were my cousins.
Anyway.
The third boy was going to be Rad, so I'm glad he was never born.
Are you kidding me?
I am kidding.
Okay.
It's sad that
You know what?
almost believe that with my
I
family.
I would not bat an eye.
Probably would have been Tad. Brad, Chad, and Tad.
So anyway, she's like kissing him, and they're like looking around, and it's creepy. And Tammy's like, I'm so excited, cousin Tammy. I'm so excited. She was the one who did the "Make It Rain" thing on the.
Who has really weird blush.
Yeah, and a harsh resting bitch face.
Yes.
I think that's indicative.
Yes.
So Tammy's like, it's nice to be able to spend some time with them and the boys, and we'll see how it's exactly put. We can see if they're a good fit for each other or not.
And I was like, yeah, they said that, and I went,
they're married with 2 children, and they're gonna poll you.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's a little bit like
there's no ask the audience.
Show of hands, everybody.
Who thinks these 2 are good together? They have 2 kids.
It's kind of like Chuck and Charlie in fucking Moldova.
God.
They're married. They have a kid.
Right.
Get on board.
We need to get to the bottom of everything.
We need to get to the bottom.
You should have done like a responsible person and hired a PI.
Exactly.
That's what you do.
That's what Mama Mar would have done.
Yes. Y'all, private investigators can find out anything.
Oh, yeah.
Rebecca is a PI.
She wasn't a good one.
Now
she quit. She wasn't a good one.
she managed
Come on.
the chicken
She didn't even.
restaurant.
But her partner was great.
Oh, I loved her.
What was her name?
I don't know.
Ruth?
I don't know. Just another Southern woman.
That's true.
So you guys.
So then we get a little bit of testimony, and Kalani's like, that was awkward. And Asuelu's like, they kind of at first have this cute thing where Asuelu's show, no, she kissed me like this. And I will say this is a problem of Kalani, is that Kalani can be very judgmental.
Yeah, and she makes fun of him a lot.
She makes fun of him a lot. And it undercuts him.
And you probably shouldn't say when you were making out with your mom.
That's just
he's not going to think that's funny.
He's not going to think...
And he's going to be very disrespected, you know that term, by it.
And he does. And he ends up saying, fuck you, and walks away.
Great.
And she was like, he's such a crybaby. And I was kind of like... It made me... Not that it's... But it made me be like, look, relationships are a two-way street. And... he
did not need that at the time.
Asuelu is responding a lot. I think that was a glimpse of don't get me wrong. We're always team kids on this, and we always sympathize a lot with Kalani because I think Asuelu is hard to be married to. And at the same time, I think she is constantly kind of digging at him and giving him shit.
I agree. Yeah.
Kalani, if you're listening, you might want to process that.
I think, too, that's the only way she knows how to cope.
Well, yes, because I
Yeah.
also feel like when she talks to him like an adult,
She talks down.
he doesn't get it.
No.
Like, she's probably tried to do that.
Yeah.
And I bet he's like, nope,
I agree.
I don't get it. So he does. So now she's just kind of like, they're not good for each other, y'all. Spoiler alert.
Right. So, they're at the food truck place, and he's like, I want to get all the food. And then it turns into
Lily's like,
what's this? What's this? There's magic in the air. What's this?
What's this? It's hot dogs. Oh, my God.
It's a grilled cheese. Oh, my.
And then, but this is, I'm telling you, something's, and you know what? I'm saying this again, and I'm actually going to say it relates to, I think, Asuelu's mom. Like, I feel like there is mentally something not firing in both of these people. And I say that because I'm not calling, I've actually been thinking about this a lot since I watched this. I feel like if you don't, it's not that we're categorizing, or it's not that I'm trying to diagnose someone. It's that I feel like Asuelu is being treated as, I don't know, as someone who is, I guess, highly functioning adult or whatever that is, and it's not.
She's assuming that.
She's assuming that, and is it fair and healthy for him to assume that? When I just think this way that he was like, I buy them everything, and they know how much I love them.
Right.
It's his emotional.
That's how you show love.
That's how you show love when you're an 8-year-old kid and your new friends or your new family's in town.
Yeah.
It's not what you do when you're a 28-year-old adult.
You know, you nailed it. And I think, too, I agree with that. And I also agree that I think he's just, and this is a terrible word to use, he's just simple.
He is.
And so is she.
And I think you mean that not in what some people like, the negative, like pejorative.
No,
but yeah.
I mean, he's got simple wants and needs.
Yes,
and
exactly.
probably should have never left Samoa.
Exactly. I agree. He should have never left Samoa.
And I think she brings that with her, and she kind of ingratiated him with that.
Yeah, we're seeing him actually, as a comparison, we're seeing that actually a bit with Sinjin.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of Sinjin. He just wants simple things.
Right. And so you guys, he's getting like grilled cheeses. He's got like a whole like Dagwood sandwich lined up going on.
Again, if you're under 30, you don't know what
know what that is.
You don't know what Dagwood is.
You know, if you're under 30, I will say you have to. I'll say this too. If you're under 30, you have to learn to fuck.
Well, that came out of nowhere.
Well, no, I just thought I almost said. No, here's the thing. I almost said I never fucked anyone under 30 who knew how to fuck. And then I went, they kind of knew, but they had to be taught by someone over 30.
You have to be carefully taught.
You
know, we can't sing that song that's about racism.
You have to be taught to eat the ass.
No, we can't do that. We can't. That's a song about racism. A good song about racism.
You're right. We could do it.
You know what? I've done worse. We could do it. We could do it still.
Anyway, so he's getting all this. She's like, Asuelu, there's so much food. Anyway, and so they're sitting there and they're like, blah, blah, blah. This is so nice. It's so nice to see you. And then she's like,
and now I think it's time
for another episode of 90 Days Theater.
Y'all, someone said, I really like the sissy theme of someone playing the violin. Yes, that's better.
Go fuck yourself.
We don't have time to pull it up every time. But we loved it too.
Go fuck yourself, because ours is great. And ours is more us. I appreciate her. She was a beautiful tone.
And ours is just easier. I got to scroll through my phone. Do you know how many OnlyFans screenshots I have to scroll through to get back to that violin playing?
I'd have to go through so many sexts
just
to get to it.
Sorry. All right, so y'all imagine we're eating at a food table. It feels so Portland here.
And everyone's having a good time. Oh, this grilled cheese is lovely.
I'm going to be playing the role of Asuelu, and not in an accent because I don't want to be offensive. And Kalani. Poodle will be playing the role of
Mama Asuelu,
Tammy,
and
If
their
this was
deaf
fish-
sister, Rosa.
This won't be offensive at all.
and scene.
So, Mom, you like the food?
It's delicious. Where's my money? How much you giving me?
What?
Throw it on the table.
What? No.
Tammy,
I just
make it rain.
Mom.
Rosa looks questionly. Just puts hands out.
I have money for you. I have money. I have
How much?
$100, Mom. I have $100.
What? $100? What? $100?
What, Mom?
Rosa.
What is Rosa saying? What she's making something that looks like a Big Mac
She makes
stacking.
the neck slice off symbol.
Oh, the slice, and then she just does a thumbs down. What does that mean,
she says,
Tammy?
Tammy says that's not enough. I'm not sure that's actual ASL, but it's not enough.
Didn't look like sign language to us.
Anyway, Mom is like, well, $100. You did all this for me. You're supposed to respect your family. Asuelu, your parents are alive. I am alive. Your father is alive. Maggie the cat is alive.
But Mom, Kalani says, wait a minute. We just don't have a lot of extra. We're stay at home. We work part-time. By the way, Tammy, do you send money home?
That's none of your goddamn business.
And scene.
And y'all, the chill in the air.
Fucking props to Kalani for calling them on their shit.
I loved it.
That kind of will make me all. She's going to have to do a lot for me not to love Kalani now after that.
I kind of love her from this.
I do
and you know what? I will say, Asuelu did not back down, you guys.
He did
not throw her under the bus. This is like the first time.
He did not. And it's Kalini was like, this is so awkward.
This is the most awkward conversation
totally
ever.
Bullshit. And again, this goes back to what I was saying about Asuelu. He says in this simple way, like, but I just love you. I love you. I want to provide you. And the mom goes into, well, and I wonder if this is why part of him moved. When you were back in Samoa, I took
You were my right-hand son.
You gave me everything.
Yeah.
So I wondered, like, this mother is horrible.
I think
she has some mental illness, but I think
did a little
she's not.
research, and it is traditional for everyone to give money to send back to Samoa, but the way that they're demanding it,
no, she's vicious.
Yeah,
The
way that they're putting themselves. First of all, they hate Kalani. Obviously,
they hate her because the mother says, "I think Kalani's the reason." Well, yes, because Kalani's not necessarily the reason.
Your simple son would just give you all the money he had.
Basically, it makes sense. Asuelu probably was in a relationship with a domineering mother.
Yeah.
So he's attracted to a strong woman like Kalani.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? I don't think she wants to domineer him though. But that's just
it's
what
the
he's
only way.
attracted.
It's the only way they can function.
But Asuelu's used to when you're with a domineering mother, you don't have to think. She just tells you when to shit, piss, and walk.
Yeah.
And that's what Kalani doesn't want him to do, and that's where his frustration.
Right.
Y'all, we just solved them.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So basically, Tammy's like, "Well, why don't you work full time? You could give us some money then." And that's just like saying, if he worked full time, I'm sure they've tried to get him a full time job.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, she just goes, "Where is your mind? Where is your mind?"
It was hers is gone too.
Yeah.
That's what I just wrote. She's crazy.
Yeah.
Like she's actually. It made me sick to my
Leave
stomach.
my daughter alone.
You know what made me sick to my stomach was someone who is a grandparent and a child. She had where Colt had no emotion and it was flat.
Yeah.
She had no emotion of understanding, of empathy, and honestly of
her
love,
own grandchildren
of love,
being there at the table.
of love.
Yeah.
Like, I really thought, do you even love these people?
And she wants the kids. She's like, I can't wait to see them. But then she would basically be taking food out of the kids' mouths to send back to Samoa.
Exactly.
Like, that doesn't compute. It doesn't really compute to Asuelu either. Something's weird.
I'm telling you, there is something going. Maybe Asuelu and his mother both were thrown by the tornado, like Grandma hated. Maybe there's a typhoon. That came to Samoa.
And they say, Mama Lucina was never the same when she got thrown by that typhoon.
Where's my money?
I need money. So y'all, at the end, she does a Mother Debbie. I'm done. I'm done.
She does do a Mother Debbie.
And so she
I want to go home now.
Yeah, she just kind of ends the meeting.
That's what she's, again, like, there's a not a complexity to this, her mind thinking at all.
I find her very disturbing.
She is like so one-dimensional.
Yeah.
She's literally like Friar John from fucking Robin Hood.
You mean Prince John?
Or, not Prince John. What's the one that goes, who collects the money?
Oh, Sheriff of Nottingham?
She's like the sheriff of fucking Nottingham. Well, boy, taking all the money and like just takes the money out of the little rabbit's cast and doesn't even give a fuck.
I'm kind of remembering that now.
But I mean, she just seems so calculated.
It's not Prince John's like, hello.
Yeah.
With the crown.
The sheriff of Nottingham.
Y'all, Prince John was gay.
He was.
Just to clarify.
By the way, I'll never forget if somebody
the animated
said,
movie.
I'm
Gay.
watching Robin Hood and all I can think about is that he has a big dick and wants to fuck. Thanks, guys.
Y'all, that fox, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
That fox is hot as
He's
shit.
hot. He is
I
hot.
would bone that fox today.
He would be like, y'all, he's like in a human terms, he would be like a Darren Criss. You don't know if they're gay or straight, but they've got big eyes and they're just thin.
But Darren Criss with who's more hung.
Darren Criss is not hung.
He's not.
But his ass.
Yeah.
Even his
what he's
wife
kinda like?
ribs his
He's
ass.
kind of like a young George Clooney.
He is.
That's who Robin
Yeah.
Hood is. And y'all, if Robin Hood's at this door right now, I'd push this motherfucker out. I wouldn't care if it was quarantine. Anyway, so he that's when Asuelu says, I feel like Kalani's right. The only time they call me and they need me is when they need money. It's really sad.
It is a hard thing to acknowledge the toxicity of your family, and it's an even harder thing to leave that when you know it's for your own good. And you have to have a lot of self-awareness. You have to have a lot of confidence and a lot of self-love. And I don't think Asuelu has
not capable
any
of
of those.
it.
It's literally not capable.
It's too complex for him.
And on that note,
we should take a break. The sweet little moment.
y'all, the dog started barking. I don't know what's going to happen.
Not the dog downstairs. We're working that out. The dog downstairs has been now. The dog walker's coming. The dog across the street is just a vicious mongrel.
And the dog walker is a hot gay man.
Oh,
who's in
Peruvian.
a relationship, and Poodle's trying to figure it. Y'all, Peruvian dick.
I'm trying to get my bearings in there. I need to navigate that relationship.
Ooh,
Y'all, gay relationships, when they say, "Oh, they're almost married," unless there's a ring on that finger.
Oddly, I know a lot of gay relationships that where they were monogamous mostly when they were dating, and then they got married, and then are in a fucking open relationship. I'm
like 3 months after.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Because they love the idea of being married, and they realized, oh wait, we don't get to fuck anybody else.
Guess so.
I know gay couples who won't get married for that very reason.
Well,
they like their monogamous relationship, and they're afraid they will have to create an open relationship.
well, but that's good for them that they have that option to just straight people off and don't feel that way.
I don't know. I think I'd be so jealous to have an open relationship. I don't know if I could handle it.
If anybody, there's only one person I think who probably would be less open to that too, and that would be Larissa and Jess. But other than that,
I think I might
you're
pull
third.
I think I might show up with a knife.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I get the call, and I'm going to have to come get you. Either
Maddie,
that, or I'm going to have to help
Maddie,
you bury a body.
I fucked up real bad.
It's a real bad.
Want a hot dog real bad. All right.
All right.
Larissa.
By the way, y'all, I know a lot of you, but if you're watching Smothered Knows Best, I sent Poodle a clip last night.
Oh, it's good.
Record it just fast, to me, in my opinion, just fast forward to the either Mary Brittany
The very
moment
end.
or the Elena and her mom. What's her mom's name?
Marsha.
They're really fucking funny. And
They are funny.
And Elena is really like, she's kind of the most like sarcastic, smart.
We didn't see that
We didn't
Elena
see that
on the show at all.
She kind of acted like a child, and
Yeah.
on this show, her facial expressions while watching these people do shit is one of the funniest
I'd
things I've
watch.
seen.
They are the stars.
I'm telling you, I know you said you wouldn't. I'm like, I would. And she's like drinking champagne. I would totally have a drink with her.
Elena.
Yeah,
Too damaged.
I bet her mom would be fun too. I bet.
Mom's like
she
gets
gets
3 Kendall Jacksons in her.
Yeah, or a chocolate martini, and she's ready to go.
Hello, I'm the chocolate martini.
Y'all, the chocolate martini made an appearance on Lalu. So
And some of you said I wasn't prepared, and if you're going to do that, I need to not be driving. I have forgotten how much I enjoyed that voice, and I really miss. I really miss Brittany right now.
yeah. Someone said, "Are y'all going to cover Smothered on Smothered?" No, it's too much. But we'll eventually do season 1, and of course, when Smothered comes back, we will gladly cover.
But the
it.
reason why we're not doing Smothered Knows
It got
Best,
huge-
you guys,
it got huge ratings this season, y'all. So it's coming back.
but Smothered Knows Best it's not good because we can't.
It's like pillow talk. It's
Yeah.
them commenting on the. They're doing what
It's
we're
too
doing.
meta.
It's too weird.
So, you guys, Larissa's talking to Carmen in her house, and I've just got to say this verbatim that she says along in Larissa's accent. She's explaining what happened. After we went to a huge fight, Ericy and Eric's roommate Davide, they threatened me to call the cops on me. That was one sentence.
That was one sentence.
Let me just read that again. After we went to a huge fight, Ericy and Eric's roommate Davide threatened me to call the cops on me. It's like absurdism. I
It is.
love the way she talks.
I do too, but it's sometimes
It's hard to understand.
it's hard to understand. Thank God for the subtitles.
I know,
for
right?
everything.
So, you guys,
Y'all, no one's at the door. It's just Amazon.
just-
That's boy. TLC milked that one, didn't
boy,
they?
they had a cliffhanger, and it was just fucking Amazon.
I mean, how many Poodle still gets excited? Like, y'all, the doorbell rings and he's like, "Oh, it's a trick," because he thinks he runs downstairs. His
like
dress
Christmas
flows
morning.
in the wind. His one shoe comes off the step, and he looks down to see who's going to pick up my shoe and put it on. It's no one.
in a shoe, in the goo, on the steps of the palace. Y'all, no soprano can ever get that right. That timing of that piece.
It's a hard song.
It's very hard. But do you know how many times I've done that show several times? How much I have to vamp an extra one because they messed something up. Oh. Well, if you played Cinderella and Into the Woods and you got it right, kudos to you. Really, good job.
Maybe they just think they got it right,
And
and
you
their
learn
musical
something
director.
new. In a shoe, in a stew. Vamp, vamp, vamp. Something you never knew. Me just vamping forever on the steps of the palace. Whew. Every single time. Y'all, when you go to a musical and you see the music directors, one of the hardest working people there.
They are.
They're just trying to keep it all running for the
They
wheels fall
are.
off the wagon. Anyway, you guys.
So Larissa goes back home. And, right? Anything
Yeah.
else about that?
Yeah.
Goes back home. The house, she forgot her keys.
She's just wandering, and Eric comes out shirtless with a fucking Sonicare.
He did look attractive there.
He
I will
did.
say he looked good with that. I don't want to see his OnlyFans, but y'all, if you've seen his dick, send it to us.
Some people have
Send
said
it to
it's
Poodle.
better than
Some
they
people
imagined.
said we were wrong. Maybe the gift was wrong.
I'll be the judge.
Send it to Poodle. I don't want the dick pic. Send it to Poodle.
Me. Anyway,
Is that when you think we'll feel famous? When we get nudes all the time? I don't think we're ever going to get
we'll
nudes.
Get me too.
Yeah, y'all, I don't want them. Send them to Poodle.
I want Eric's, though, but don't send me yours.
Yeah, just send Poodle Eric's.
So
Eric's.
Eric's
Dicky.
So she... Larissa says in confessional, I believe sometimes I can attract toxic men. I'm like... Understatement of the year.
Water is wet.
Me too, Larissa.
But here's the deal: is she does attract toxic men. However, man, Larissa's horrible when she gets angry. You can't reason with her.
Yeah, and I think
she cannot have a conversation.
I want to talk about a bigger problem. We're going to get to it, but so he keeps going on. Basically, stuff continues from the previous argument. He told people about her sex life. As she said, my vagina. Vagina. My vagina.
This kind of like, we're not going to go verbatim word to word because they try to talk. I will say it's weird to watch Eric talk when he's angry. Y'all, he uses his hands so much to speak.
It looks like semaphore.
It actually looks like sign language, whereas Rosa, again, is just doing like vaudeville.
She just
cut the number, Frank. We're done.
Rosa was just playing win, lose, or draw.
Yes. Like I literally thought when it was
or charades.
I thought there was going to be a sound effect that go wing, 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 wing. Anyway,
maybe Rosa just didn't want to talk, so she just said she was deaf.
If you're listening right now and you know sign language and we're offensive, we're sorry, but it just didn't look real to us.
No.
Anyway, and as you know, Poodle's fucked a deaf guy, so he knows.
More than one.
He really had a lot of sex with
There's
people.
There's a lot of hot deaf gay guys. I got in a lot of trouble for saying that with the previous deaf guy I dated. It's like, no, it's just that the deaf guys you know are gay. And just like, really, I'm like, I thought it'd be funny we could talk about it. He wasn't amused.
It wasn't amused.
No.
So anyway.
I was glad for him to be gone.
So they're like fighting, but then we get to this, like, Eric wants an apology, Larissa wants an apology, but then Larissa says that kind of broke my heart, kind of in her, in confessional, where she says, like, basically, I felt like a loser.
Yeah.
What he said about me.
And basically, she took this, not that she hated that he betrayed her, is that he told all these women that sex with her was that bad. And it made her feel like not really a woman. That broke my heart.
And Larissa said, I don't have a lot of experience with sex. Which, y'all, don't judge a book by its cover.
True.
Just because a woman looks like Larissa, I think, let's talk about our own judgments. We all just assume that she's fucked a lot of dicks.
I bet that's true.
And yeah, I think it's true as well. And I think it kind of really...
It made me really sad, actually.
It made me sad because we see the plastic surgery, the constant thinking of herself, the constant trying to look better. Is that Larissa feels unlovable.
And she feels like a Barbie doll. If she's a Barbie doll, she will be loved and she will be the ultimate sex object.
Yes, and that is to be loved.
I just had one more thought about Eric.
Sad.
You guys remember that thing, Coney 2012? That guy, crazy guy, Jason, who did it, who's like the blonde guy who had like... You remember Coney 2012?
Coney 2012?
The blonde guy, Jason, who went nuts and was naked in San Diego yelling on the street.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
He was doing that with his hands. That's what I think of when I see Eric. Is Jason from Coney 2012.
Because wasn't that like a famous guy?
No, well, not really famous, but that took over the internet for a while.
But I think he was like a speaker or something in
real
life.
He's like, we're going to end child love. And it was basically, they fucked up, and the organization they were helping was really a right-wing Christian group, and they didn't know it. I'm explaining this poorly, but that basically happened. That wanted to kill gay people.
A podcast or something about that years ago.
He seems so gay, too.
He does.
Yeah. But when he was naked, all tweaked out, that's what Eric looks like.
Agreed.
You can find that video, by the way. Wow. I enjoyed watching it. So you guys, she basically says then, I'm never going to forgive you for this. Consider yourself buried in my life.
Buried.
beautied. Y'all, there's something I could listen to Larissa talk for hours and just find it absolutely delightful. Not even to make fun of it. Just there's something about it that I just love.
I get it.
Anyway.
Maybe you'll meet her one day.
I hope so. She's like, can you do me?
She probably would like it.
She would. She'd have fun with it.
She would.
Anyway, so she said, I think that's about it.
That's all I have.
And I feel, she's like, I feel bad as a woman. Oh, you guys.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, Larissa's got a questionable past, and she's done some really bad shit. But there's something about, she plucks my heartstrings. And I know I'm a gay guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel sorry for her, too.
Anyway, let's move on to someone who does not pluck at my heartstrings. Tania.
But yet we're angry at her.
And Sinjin.
Tania and Sinjin.
I have to keep repeating this. Bitch is always put together perfectly.
She looks
now that she's on
this season.
because she saw that season. She saw last season. She's like, oh my God.
She's like, what was I wearing? Because this whole episode, she looks beautiful. The whole thing.
Impeccable. She knew. Bitch saw that edit and went, oh my God, I can never look that way on television
from the
again.
Melanated Way was right. She was right about that one.
Yeah.
I'm
glad there's fucking Airwolf over us.
Something's happening.
If you hear a helicopter, it is not us. I didn't do a thing. Allegedly.
For once. Y'all, so Sinjin's going to see his brother, Dylan. And so, y'all, I think Dylan had the same thing that, because my mom had knee surgery, and then she had a blood clot that went to her chest that thankfully went the other way. But y'all, especially, just so you know, if you...
Was your mother also rock climbing?
Yes. And by rock climbing, meaning she was walking down some steps from her knitting group.
Okay. Good to know.
Y'all, if you're... actually, she was putting up Christmas decorations on the step ladder.
It's not funny.
And the dog almost made her trip. So, y'all, here's the deal. I just want to say as a PSA, especially if you're having surgery on actually your knees or your elbows, those really are areas of your body that can be prone to move or not, can be prone to blood clots. So just make sure, talk to your doctor about that. I'm not going to give you medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm just going to say, if you have surgery in those areas, talk to your doctor and let them know.
The more you know. That may be the only bit of medical advice we've ever given out on this show.
If you notice, so I walked up to advice and then stopped and said, talk to your doctor, but just a little bit of knowing.
Besides the part when I told everyone that they need to try thumbing, and then everyone, which is something I made up, which is when someone puts a thumb in a woman's urethra. Yeah. And someone's like, no, don't do that. And I'm like, y'all, I made that up.
We know nothing about women's genitalia.
No.
Y'all don't pull over.
Good God. Is it Armageddon?
Is
RoboCop outside?
I saw some police earlier. I hope there's not like anything.
Jesus.
If you watch some of the news, I just had a friend Facebook message me, how are the riots out there? I'm like,
what?
There's not any riots out here anymore. So y'all check your news sources because we've been pretty peaceful for about the last 2 months here in Los Angeles.
It's been pretty peaceful.
So just,
So she what am I talking about? Oh,
Tania and Sinjin.
Tania, they get in the car. They're going to go see the brother, Dylan, and he kind of speeds out. She freaks out. Mostly because, you guys, she starts crying.
This broke my heart. Again.
And she's had God, I hate that I feel something for her. I would have hate Tania so bad, y'all. I would have fucking ripped her a new one.
But
every
she's
single
beautiful,
time she's on screen.
And she's understandable. And she makes sense.
This is so frustrating, y'all.
It's so hard because, y'all, you do. I knock on wood, I've never been in a bad accident. Have you?
I have not.
So, my partner has, and he was with his cousin, and then someone opened the door, and the door got ripped off by a car speeding by. So
Oh my God.
We could be in a street with no cars coming, but if I'm driving and I get out, he's like, careful, careful. So like that kind of trauma just those things stay with you. And this just happened to her.
So he kind of laughs, and he laughs because not at her reaction, but that it kind of like, oh, I didn't really know about that. Because Sinjin does care about her deeply.
He just doesn't.
Yeah.
It's what
things roll off his back, you guys.
Oh, I'm blanking. The guy who wrote fucking oh God. Oh,
This is the worst game of
he was
celebrity
in
ever.
The Holocaust. He became a psychiatrist.
Elie Wiesel?
Yeah, what's the book he wrote?
Night.
No, wait, it's he was in the he wrote it was
We're gonna move on.
His sister, I read it. His sister went the other way. She died. He got.
We're gonna move on.
Stop worrying what you're doing. Move on.
Are you just gonna look up Holocaust survivor?
You know, it's a really, really good book.
I'll keep going while you talk. So anyway, so she's still traumatized from the accident.
She is still traumatized.
Anyway, so they meet Dylan, and it's like a really sweet thing. He's like, Bry. And I have to say, Dylan's body is amazing.
It is.
His face kind of is quite Princess Bridey for me.
Man Search for Meaning.
Oh,
That's
Viktor Frankl.
Viktor Frankl. And
if you would have said Man Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl.
I couldn't remember the name. In Man Search, Viktor Frankl talks about how trauma.
Was he an actual psychiatrist?
Yeah, he went on. He did that afterwards. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Afterwards, because of all.
I didn't think. I thought he was a different degree. Like
psychiatrist or psychology.
Yeah.
Maybe psychology.
Yeah, I think it's psychologist.
But it was in that field.
Yeah.
But he talks about. But he talks. If you ever want to read a book, people are like, I don't want
Viktor
to read.
Frankl will break you, y'all.
It's a great book, especially in these times. But
yeah.
It really is very interesting. A lot about his perspective of trauma and
that's
psychology.
FRANKL.
And trauma, y'all. Here's the deal with trauma: is what he talks about. It is an abnormal traumatic situation always elicits an abnormal response,
right.
And that is normal.
Right.
So it's like, anyway, I say that to y'all because I think that's such a good what happens in our life. Y'all, when Poodle gets freaked out because he can't hear because there's somebody outside in the alley going, hey, hey, hey.
There's a reason for
He's
it.
an HSP, and like I have to understand his situation. And so I actually kudos to Sinjin and Tania because he kind of was like, I'm so sorry, that's not what I meant.
And I was
shocked.
And I have to let you sing everything because you weren't allowed to make a lot of sounds when you're a child, besides being called a faggot.
Matt, turn the goddamn music down. I can't fucking hear NASCAR.
Matthew, watch your wrists.
Stand strong with the wrist strong, boy.
Okay, Daddy.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. So anyway.
So he sees the brother immediately.
Carl, could you order me that book on trauma? I think I need it.
Viktor Frankl?
Frankl.
Is he in Crump's cabinet?
Sometimes Carl's wife's life is sad, y'all. Anyway.
Just y'all, curlers 24/7.
24/7.
So, Sinjin immediately just almost gets emotional. He's like, I'm the guy who cries now. He's like, in South Africa, we're taught to show our hardness, not our softness. And
y'all, South Africa.
I love that.
Between Ronald and Sinjin, I don't think it's easy to be gay there.
No, it's not.
Definitely.
I think
it's probably a good thing that Tiffany's son's not going to live there. Hint, hint.
So anyway, he says that, and then he kind of curls up on the couch, and that's when most of the internet and I agree we saw ball.
Do you think that was his ball?
Yes.
I didn't know. Do you think it was? I
Yes.
thought they looked like they were hanging to the right.
No, we saw his fucking brain. We saw fucking sack.
Wow.
Either that or the piece of his uncut dick.
I thought it looked like maybe because if you look at it, his balls look like they're hanging to the right.
Well, then we saw his dick then. I don't know what it was. All I know is I saw a flesh-colored just nugget sitting there just waving and saying, "Hey there, welcome to South Africa." I want you to be waiting to see for a long time. Because St. John goes commando, y'all. There's no doubt in my mind.
He probably doesn't wear underwear.
He barely wears shoes.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Y'all,
I hope he's not into foot play.
We were treated to a piece of St. John's meat and veg.
I missed it.
Right there. Oh, I'll show it to you. I saved it. Wow. Anyway, y'all, we actually saw, I don't know how they missed that.
I don't know how they did either.
You can see it.
Really?
Yes.
Clearly a straight man or lesbians editing. They're not looking at the dick.
Going by. They're just
Looks
just
good
gone.
to me.
So anyway, they're talking. He's like, "Will you gain weight, brah?" And he's like, "Yeah, I love the pizzas. 2 for 1."
I do kind of love that St. John would be that guy. Tania, it's a 2 for 1. We got to take the deal.
I don't know what that accent was, but we'll move on. Anyway, so she's anyway, it's a sweet moment. He's like, "I really love you," and you see just the softest side of St. John.
You do.
Softest side of St. John. Anyway, they decide, you guys, he's going to go out with his friends and raise like holy hell and get drunk and raise trouble. And she's like, "I just hope it's not too much."
However, again, Tania's like, "I'm just going to let him go and get it out of his system." And I'm like, a lot of women wouldn't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Libby would fucking go with Andrei. She would go with him. Andrei. And again, I was like, Tania, fucking kudos.
Can we not talk about it?
I mean, can we
not talk about how much we like her anymore? I know. It's very upsetting.
So here's my question to you. Well, hold on. We're going to get to it. So then Tania is walking around with her mother-in-law and St. John's wise, sage sister.
Oh, she's so smart.
Charmaine?
Cheris,
whatever. And so they're walking along and they're in this market and they're kind of just talking about St. John and their relationship. And the mom is talking to her a lot of like, basically kind of like, I lost my place.
I just have to interrupt. Do you think, Mom's seen some stuff. There's some sun damage on her face, and she's kind of perpetually frowning. Do you think Mom kind of looks like Grumpy Cat? Like,
she is always a little...
Yeah, she's a little frowny.
Dowager Countess. Little down in the dumps.
I'm telling y'all, someone put a picture of Sinja's mom and Grumpy Cat next to each other.
It's true. It's true.
I think she's a lovely woman.
I think so, too.
That's all I could think of was Grumpy Cat.
Agree.
Sorry, Mama Sinjin. But they basically, it was nice to have this time with Tania.
It was nice.
And
Mom was like, I want her to be comfortable with us because we're her family.
Yeah. They've been some of the best in-laws.
I don't think anybody else who's been any better except for maybe Michael's.
That's true.
And we'll get to that.
But they require, it's transactional on Michael's side.
Yes.
For certain things.
Yeah, it is.
They're just asking, I hope you'll let him be him. And she's like, yeah, but I just thought he wanted to be the party guy for all time.
But then she started crying. And again, it was an appropriate cry.
It was an appropriate cry.
And I felt for her.
And it made sense because she's so afraid he's not going to commit to her because he's Mr. Party Guy. And it made sense because that's the thing a normal person would do, not just Tania, who's an awful shrew.
And it makes sense for y'all out there that are like, I want this guy to marry because if I marry him, it will lock it down. Y'all, if they're a wondering man before you marry, they're going to be a wondering man afterwards.
Lord, I was born a traveling man, trying to make a living and doing the best I can. That's all I know.
Well, I know too. Anyway,
that's all I've got about that crew.
Well, Mom says things like, I do think they bring up some things where Mom's like, she's like, does he seem happy there? And to me, it's like, I compromise, which is true. She's like, I compromise a lot of things that I've never done, and now I'm asking him to compromise. And the mom's like, do you want to change him? And she's like, we talk about partying, but they talk about how, again, the sister is like, Sin just thinks it's hard to settle down, and I think Tania can be a little bit controlling. But the thing that was really to me, that remember whose side, because it was, listen to her, sometimes I'm scared. I just don't know if he's going to settle down. Tania's crying. And the last thing is the mom says, sometimes you need to relax. And I think she should realize what he has sacrificed. So mom is still going to be on Team Sinjin's side.
I agree. That's all I've got about those two.
Yeah, it was normal.
Fight, 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 fight.
What's that?
We're fighting. Beavis and Butthead.
They were annoying. I never could watch them. They were unruly. They didn't listen to their parents, and I did not enjoy them.
You were the model child.
Fight. People started fights because of them and started fires.
I loved it.
Mr. Proctor put a post on his bulletin board about how we shouldn't watch them.
Oh, it was so subversive.
It was too much. It was like
it was a little like white male rage, but
it was. But it was like Garbage Pail Kids. Don't make fun of something so pure. I love my Cabbage Patch Kids.
Garbage Pail Kids.
They were mean and gross.
No, they were awful. But there was a place for. I loved Garbage Pail Kids.
I love Cabbage Patch Kids.
My kid would want to destroy something your child would put up because
or
I
just
wanted to smash the patriarchy.
Yeah, not me. I wanted to fit in.
I know. That was different about us.
That we could take different ways. Yeah.
Mine's better. Anyway, and look how you're just a mincing, prancing, lisping queen.
Yeah, and everybody knows you as such a sweetie pie.
You know what? I keep it real.
Jeez.
You don't have to be, women, you don't have to be sweet in this world. You can keep it real, too.
Yeah.
And then they'll call you a bitch, unfortunately. But that's the way
the way life works. Speaking of someone who's probably been called that before, let's talk about Libby.
Andre and Libby.
Talk about Libby and Andrei. Andrei.
Y'all, this is... Honestly, I don't know how much I want to say about this whole thing except for the highlights. Except for this was a big alcohol-fueled melee.
Yeah.
Where they both, between Andrei and Charlie, it was like, who has the biggest dick? Now,
yes.
Both of them were drunk.
Both of them were drunk. I think Andrei was more drunk.
Yeah. Let's just hit the highlights.
Yeah, I think we're not. Yeah, we don't need to go through it all. But basically, they're still fighting from when we thought they ruined the makeout we thought was going to happen from last week, the lead up.
And the brother, Radu, basically says that Charlie and Andrei are a lot alike, which is why they're fighting. And I think he's got something there.
That brother should be a president or a king because he's fucking level-headed as
he
shit.
Is. Even though his wife is like, kill him!
Although she's beautiful. She'd be a great first lady.
She's so beautiful.
Would she be a great prime minister's wife?
I agree.
I want to hang out with him because I think he would be very nice, and then she would just kind of read us.
Yeah, I love her.
I do too.
Let's see. And then when he was assassinated, she could be the prime minister.
It's fine. Yeah, and I could do her hair, and you could play music. And she's like,
we could
keep playing. I'm not done with drink.
Okay, Miss Queen. I liked it, Miss Queen. I liked it when Chuck said, "We treat people with respect who are guests in our country." Mic drop,
y'all. Chuck,
y'all.
Okay.
Woo! Just take that.
Do you think,
regardless of what, we're not going to get into politics.
No, not politics. Y'all, we personally know people. There's some sissies in our squad that are fucking being slumlorded by Chuck and his family that are literally scared to death of where they're going to live because Chuck and them haven't paid the fucking mortgages on their places and aren't not doing anything. And I'm not even going to go to the logistics.
And I'm not even going to go into like people who are guests in our country. Like, we're talking, how many times have you been in your town? You're like, fucking tourists.
Exactly.
You're rolling your eyes, not to mention the kids in cages at the border. Anyway, what was I saying?
Yeah.
What was I saying?
And Chuck, y'all look. Jake and I have said, you know what, actually this show has made me be even more grateful to be an American and
I
love
agree.
my country even more.
And
you,
but
when
to
you
do
came
it the
back
right
from
way.
China, you were like, I almost kissed the ground if it wasn't LAX and I
Yeah.
might get corona. But
I'm like, ow, there's a piece of gum.
yeah. But we are very grateful to be U.S. citizens
Yeah.
and very happy to live here. But this idea that Chuck has, it's not even an American thing. It's that he is in his personal life, no matter what country
Yeah.
he's from, he is such a piece of shit person.
Yeah, American exceptionalism, you guys, manifests itself in very gross ways.
But it's offensive to me as someone who actually,
Yeah.
not that I'm the best person in the world, but someone who tries to be a good person, someone who does try to be a good American.
Right.
Him equivocating my sense of good country to him being a piece of shit slumber that takes advantage of
I agree.
people. I'm
Totally.
like, fuck you. You shouldn't even touch the flag. You're an asshole.
He'd probably fuck in it.
He probably
Yeah,
would.
he's so gross.
He's such a piece of shit.
He can fuck off and so his like dumb fuck son.
Yeah,
So
Charlie has a small dick.
It's
y'all.
not big.
That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
Is that they can't. You know what? This happens to some men. They can't acknowledge homosexual. Just even. No, I'm not saying all men are gay, but some men have this competitive.
a lot of them are.
It happens in nature. Guess who wins in nature? The guy with. Oh, I had the hiccups. The guy with
No.
the biggest dick.
I don't
And
know
Charlie,
if that's true,
y'all,
but that's
as
fine.
Poodle says, Charlie is like an almond in a bird's nest.
Bird's nest almond, y'all.
Yeah, bird's
You know
nest
that
almond.
picture a bird's nest, a beautiful bird's nest, and then just a tiny almond in it. That's what Charlie's whole pubic region looks like.
Yep.
Bird's nest with an almond.
Yep. Yep.
So y'all, Libby's blasting him for his drinking. He's drunk, and
Very drunk.
he's going crazy.
And I just want to say, because we say Libby never takes up for him. However,
She tried to.
when Chuck said that about American and the way we treat people, she said, cut the bullshit.
Yeah.
You're just as bad as he. You're
And to be frank, everyone, all the three men, Chuck, Charlie, and Andre, were in the wrong here.
all three of them.
Yeah, and Libby was, even though she didn't know it, was egging everyone on by saying, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, I'm not going to talk to you when you're like this. I'm leaving now.
That-
or I'm not going to even deal with you.
Y'all, when people are like this, and again, if your brother
Especially
and
if you're
husband
drunk.
want to fight, it is not your job. Go with God and let them do their
Get the
thing.
fuck
Get
out.
the fuck out of the situation.
You get
and
the
take care
friends
of
and
you.
say, we're going to let these fuckers beat
We're
it
gonna
out.
let them fucking beat it out and look like idiots. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, hot sister-in-law, I forget your name. You want to maybe go make
She
out and have a
is
shot of vodka?
hot as fuck.
She is hot.
Anyway, so Chuck then says he tries to apologize to you beautiful people of Moldova. I don't want you to hold that against Moldova what's happened tonight because you guys have been so great.
Does he not realize how fucking
Privileged he sounds
privileged
and gross.
stupid it is to say, I'm not going to hold this one event over an entire country, you know, because that's what
Because
somebody would say
what
when they
I
come
think
to
matters
America.
about your country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, do you think someone who is visiting your U.S. during, like, I don't know, something bad happening, and what a piece of shit.
I did enjoy some other highlights
hard to
where when he's
speak.
like, I'm not going to like fight your fattest brother. And she's like, stop calling my brother fat.
She did say that. Don't call him fat. I took up for him on the playground.
I like it when he's like, I would fuck him up so easily.
It was.
I got a little hot.
It was
there.
really hot.
But y'all, I don't think violence is hot. Even drunk Andre,
It's
even though
still hot.
I thought he was really, really like too much.
Especially when he like was yelling at her to get in the car. You're my wife. Do what I say.
It was a lot.
I did not like that at all.
I
Ugh.
would be better when he was home and horny.
Yeah.
That's the Andre I would want.
When he's like, "You're leaving because you're my fucking wife." I'm
It's
like,
awful.
This
Yeah.
is really abusive to
Gross.
talk to one
gross,
another.
Gross.
They
gross.
talk to each other horribly.
They do. And
so, sorry, go ahead.
that's fine.
Question for you, because we've talked about this a lot, and people talked about it in our Sissy Squad. Y'all come and I send the Sissy Squad a private Facebook
We have
group.
fun there.
As Pip says, we have fun in there. And by the way, iPad died, so I'm looking on my phone.
Shocking.
So here's the deal. Do you think this was fake? Because we've talked a lot about their storyline. So do you think this was fake?
This seemed less fake than a lot of other things.
Yeah. To me,
Mostly
it seemed
because
like,
it involved their family and friends.
I
His
think
family and
possibly
friends.
producers might have aggravated and set the
Yeah.
seeds, but I think the producers know exactly what lighter fluid to place exactly where with Andrei and Libby.
It may have been, a lot of these things happened and then they restaged them. So
Yeah.
I think this could have happened and then they restaged it.
I don't know if they restaged this. It seems
It felt pretty real. Yeah.
I mean, unless Libby she didn't make it in her acting career, but she's a fucking Meryl Streep.
I will say, Libby had red wine lips for days.
Days.
And Andrei had like little beautiful
Beautiful
red
cherub
cheeks.
flush.
And I just wanted to see him
Oh.
like over me, pummeling me with those red cheeks.
Or just like, I would be fine if he said, time for tea, and just teabag me. Andrei, I can't breathe. I don't care.
Stop! That hurts my ears. Even teabagging. Oh, y'all, we would both beg for it for Andrei. I know some of you say he's disgusting. I couldn't handle it. That man does something to me. I don't know what it is.
We're not saying he's a good person.
No,
we're just saying
you
he
don't
can
have
fuck.
to be a good person to fuck.
Y'all, Skeletor can fucking get with it. Skeletor takes down that hood, and he's going to rim your ass forever and then fuck you with that ram head.
I have fucked so many bad people.
Oh, that's fair. That is fair.
But some knew how to fuck, though.
Some of them are even, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are out of prison now for fraud and selling drugs.
I need to call him.
Or not.
I haven't did that many jailbirds. Only one or two.
Did your mother know that?
No. Y'all,
what if I told Mother Poodle?
You know how there's things that you'll tell your mother, like after college that you did, and then something you tell your mother in your 30s, something you tell your mom in your 40s, and she's like, oh, really? And something maybe in your 50s, and then some things you never tell them.
To the grave.
Yeah,
till
that's
the
one of them.
casket dropped. Y'all, by the
Till
way,
the casket drop.
yesterday I came over
Wet
and
ass pussy.
and sometimes when I get here, if Poodle's on the phone, I know that means his mother called. And so he was on the phone, and I hear, oh, yeah, the podcast is going well. We're having a lot of fun. We love our listeners. Poodle's talking about the show, and then I hear pause. Well, I don't know if you can be able to listen to it. It's kind of hard to get.
My father asked, can you send me one of those podcasts? My father would be so confused. Father Poodle, y'all, wouldn't know what to do.
You're going to have
Father Poodle's like 76 years old.
You'll have to send him like armchair expert and say it's Matt and I's alias.
Say, this is
His
it.
name is Dax, and I play the woman, Monica. Because if you played Dax, he would say, son, I didn't know you were sober now.
Yeah, exactly. I'll find something. Maybe I'll just send him like a Reuters podcast. Or maybe he's like me reading like To Kill a Mockingbird.
Am I going to have to make a fake podcast with you?
He'll forget it. It's fine.
Maybe
he had already gotten into his homemade wine.
Okay, this is if it really happens, y'all sissies. This is what we're gonna do. This is what's gonna happen. We're gonna make we'll have to make a fake episode.
Welcome to 90 Day Gays. Today we're gonna talk about
fiancés and the love they have for one another
when they are together in a room with the bed, and they're.
So-
I've heard there's no better land than in the upstate of South Carolina.
I've heard that too.
Okay.
Let's talk about Andrei. He's quite attractive, but I don't want to fetishize him. So let's talk about his brain.
Oh, and you know what? He seems like Andre's got a good head for business on his shoulders.
I agree. Good for him. I think he's going to make it in
good
this
business
world.
plan.
Mhm.
On to the next.
Let's
the
talk about Angela. Boy, I hope she quits smoking.
The podcast would be like 13 minutes, y'all.
It'd be 13 minutes. So if we ever have to do that, we will prep y'all
no,
before.
No,
and
that's
say, you
the
guys,
one I'm sending to Father
we're
Poodle.
dropping the step. That's going to Father Poodle.
I love it.
We gotta lay
know
this
what?
groundwork
I think my
now.
mom could handle it. She would go, "Oh my god, I can't believe you said that." Actually, no, that's not true. Because she would be horrified of the things that I've shared about her. But y'all, I've said this before though. At the live shows, I'm desperately trying to get her to join in, and not come as a physical person, but we're gonna beam her by
'cause
satellite.
I think that's best because I'm just going to say this. Like, if we're at a live show, I'm already handling you. I can't
You
handle
can't handle
her.
my mother.
It's too
and
much
and
for
y'all,
me.
Mother Poodle needs handling.
And I can't. And Jake, when I say handle, he's fine. He'll just get a little nervous and have to drink, and I'll have to do his makeup to calm my nerves.
Mother Poodle, y'all.
Mother Poodle would
is a whole
She
thing.
would she would derail everything.
She would.
She would. The show would start 20 minutes late.
But then she'd say, I didn't know I had fans.
She would. Y'all would get her pictures with her. She would be like,
She'd be embarrassed, but then she'd like start feeling her shit.
and y'all would talk about how much you love her son, and then she would say, "Golly,
She's like, well, I love
think
him too.
I think you did better things than your brother."
Yeah, they already think that.
All right.
Y'all come at us if you're the favorite child, even though they love my brother's kids so much.
Think I was until now. My parents think, yeah, never mind. All right.
Let's get into Angela and Michael.
Michael.
They're on a boat, y'all.
They're on a boat.
The funniest thing is I didn't have a ton to say about this. They're talking about
I wrote a lot for them, but later.
basically if you they're still talking about the baby, and if he said, she says, if you don't have a child, are you going to stick by me? And he says yes, which was a big deal.
It's a
and he's
big
like,
deal.
well, unless my mother says I shouldn't.
Yes. I just want to go back to when they're in the car and Michael says, "Baby, are you going to smoke on our wedding day?" Michael, what the fuck do you mean?
She does say that.
That would be like,
It's like, yes, I'm not going to smoke inside the chapel. I'm going to go outside to smoke.
that would be like, hint, if you're a gay man and you end up marrying Poodle, if you turn to Poodle and say, "Jake, are you going to drink on our wedding day?"
What the fuck do you mean?
You're going to get that reaction.
That's what a wedding is for. I don't understand dry weddings, y'all. No one is pleased at a dry wedding.
I think I would only have like
one.
a drink or two. I don't want to get too tipsy on my wedding.
I'm not going to get tipsy
No, I'm
at
not
my
saying you
wedding.
are.
I'm saying at
Have
my
you ever been-
reception, I'm getting blasted.
Have you ever, after the wedding?
Yes. Y'all, you got your lifetime to like fuck each other. Just get blasted and pass out together in your wedding dress.
There's something
That
romantic
sounds like
about
a
it.
great reception.
Wow. But that does sound a little romantic.
Anyway, so he brings up the mom, and she refuses to understand the idea of how important the blessing is.
Yes.
She just is like, you need to live your own life.
Yep. And I'm like, and we're going to see this later. They're having this boat conversation. And I went, something doesn't feel right about this. Like, I feel like suddenly Michael says he's fine with this. This doesn't make sense. And then later we go to, we're headed to a cake tasting.
Yeah. And she says, y'all's icing is so good. The restaurant or the cake place is called Cakes and Cream.
Cakes and cream.
Also what they called me in college.
There goes cakes and creams.
Hey, boys. You know I've got cakes and cream for you.
Yeah, it's running out your ass there, boy.
Shh, be quiet. You should know. Cakes and cream.
It's frat week.
I'll pledge. Anyway,
so they are there with Aunt Lydia and the sister Buki.
I love that name, Lydia.
Aunt Lydia from. Every time I hear Aunt Lydia, I think of Handmaid's Tale. So
they ask her. They're like, basically, so they're basically talking to them, and but this thing is, like, when they're talking about that, what's something that really, they're having the cake, and then they're talking, and what was it? Because I can't remember when Angela said, "I'm not going to change my line on this."
It was because she said, we're going to have an American wedding.
Oh,
Michael's going to wear a suit, and I'm going to wear a wedding dress.
Which, okay, so they had a Nigerian engagement party. So I get that. That I can kind of see. But the way Angela, that's very Southern, the way she did it. I'm not going to change on this.
I'm not going to
and then you
change my
smile.
mind on this, and you smile.
Poodle does that. If I piss him off and he says, well, we'll just see what happens. And he smiles and walks away.
Or I say, I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, it smiles.
Yeah.
It's a very
That means
Southern
there's
thing
no
to
more
do.
discussion.
And you know what? I do it too. I'm going to come by it honestly.
So for the spousal visa, you guys, they need a big wedding.
Yes.
And Aunt Lydia says, we will take care of everything.
We will, because Angela says, look, we've had to pay for all this with the visa. It's been expensive, back and forth. And Aunt Lydia says, we will pay for everything. So my question to you, Poodle, is it in good taste if your family is paying for your entire wedding to not to have a quote-unquote American wedding if they're Nigerian?
To have a lot of asks about what you want the wedding to be. I think you
and
need
I go back and forth on this because there's some people like if you're paying for the wedding, okay, it's not your wedding. You offered just to pay for it. But so I'm asking where you've seen this.
In the U.S., it's traditional for the bride's family to pay for everything.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen as much anymore.
No.
Usually it's like, it's not even the parents paying for the wedding a lot.
A lot of times
usually,
it's the couple.
Yeah. I would say this needed to be something that should have been talked over about, a year ago.
Yeah.
Or at least 3 months ago, and not a surprise. I think it probably has been. What I have a problem with is how insistent Angela is upon this. A wedding will be an American wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Aunt Lydia and Buki are being real nice here.
The thing is, it's that I feel like...
She loves a free wedding. Angela loves a free wedding.
So question. Well, we're going to get into this later. And so I agree with that too. I was a little like, Angela, if they're paying for your wedding, girl, like maybe have a blend. Like, does it hurt you to have some Nigerian things at your wedding?
I would say she would fight that tooth and nail because it's got to be her way.
But
even if people are paying for it.
But to me, this is a metaphor because we talk about this later. They start talking about the baby. She tells them that she doesn't have an egg and that she probably can't have a baby. And Aunt Lydia says, like, this is going to be a big problem. And
yes.
And the aunt's like, and I'm afraid it's not going to happen.
And she's like, and I'm not putting up with no side chicks. So she's
like,
not
I'm
having
putting
a
up
second
this.
wife, no
I'm not
third
doing
wife.
this. And then at the end, we have Michael who says...
She doesn't know that I personally want a baby.
And that's what this...
That hurts me really deeply, actually.
So this is what I have a couple questions. My first question is, or thought,
Your
really.
shorts are too short because I can see your underwear every time.
I hate long shorts. I got to show up my gams.
But maybe get shorter underwear.
I'm like Angela. I'm heavy on top.
Shorter underwear.
They're fine. They're boxer briefs.
I don't wear boxer briefs. I wear trunk briefs.
I want you to
focus.
I want you to close your eyes.
Fine.
And I want you to imagine that close your
I
eyes.
just don't want to have to see your
and
underwear
that
all the
you're
time.
doing laundry.
Okay.
And I want you to imagine that you're folding your underwear.
Okay.
And I want you to imagine what they look like.
I've got some really cute underwear.
Because a lot of them have holes. And a lot of them are so fucking small, they barely cover your junk.
You know what?
I have seen your nuts so much when I used to be your roommate.
I have really sexy underwear. And I'm going to stand by that.
Well, you keep looking because I don't
No, you're
fucking
fair.
care.
I've got some holes in my underwear.
And he
but I
won't
don't
give them-
wear those for nice occasions.
They're very comfortable.
You know what?
Come at me if you got some whole panties, ladies.
Yeah,
or boys.
We have some people that have jumped to the $8 tune. I think you could buy yourself all new underwear. Maybe that's your 2020 goal.
Well, I don't value money the same way you do. I'm not counting every bit that comes my way.
I just value not seeing your monkey brains.
Fair enough.
So anyway,
Fair enough.
So my one thing is, do you think? I just feel like Angela's not compromising on anything at all.
No, you're right.
Because really, what is Angela sacrificing to marry Michael? And I legitimately
if he is going to move to the U.S., not a lot.
Because she wants him to move to the U.S.
Yeah.
So what is she? What is Michael sacrificing marrying Angela?
His whole life.
His family. Being a parent.
It's that American exceptionalism that I was talking about
I
before.
know, but I'm using this actually as a point.
Yeah.
She feels like that's all worth it because you get to be an American.
Sorry, there are people talking outside and I'm distracted.
It's bullshit.
I agree.
It's hard for me to like Angela. You said this earlier before we started.
Y'all, ever since that
The abusive
episode
language,
about 2 episodes
which
ago,
she made him cook.
with that whole thing with her cooking, it's
just she's really dug into this like nationalist. I'm the better one here.
I can't do it. And I have a hard time finding common ground with her.
Because I really feel like, y'all, if you're in a relationship, you both should try to do things that are kind to the other person. And what this doesn't happen.
And what this show does well, you guys, is make us identify with someone who is different than us.
It does. That's a good point.
And they have fallen so short with Angela. And Angela's done for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think this is scripted either, too.
No.
Because I am part of like, well, why don't y'all just get a surrogate? Why isn't that just talked about? Or why don't you just, But I guess, does Angela not want, is she also part of her boundaries is Michael can't have a baby with another woman's egg?
I feel like she would prefer it to be in her family so she can be more controlling. That's kind of where I am with it. That's all I've got about those two. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And finally, good God. So, y'all, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I know, I'm sorry. Again.
Gonna let that one slide. Only that time when I reminded you you're alone. We're even.
I mean,
now.
you're like completely alone. I mean, you don't have anybody. I mean, you sleep and there's like a cold spot next to you. Like no one's here. No one cares if you live or die. Anyway, y'all, we know the shit hit the fan the last 2 weeks for Paul and Karine.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Paul's a creep. Paul's a loser.
He's a loser, yes.
Paul's not a good person.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
We have never said he's not.
Yeah.
Ever.
And I want to say again that...
And a lot of these people on these show can be that way.
That we try not to look at gossip or news because, honestly, it's not our purview. We're trying to see what the show's about.
We also don't love it. I don't...
Yeah.
It's not... let me step back. It's not that we don't love fraud or we don't love the melanated way. We love... They're
it's not
great.
what we do.
It's just... I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't want to read. Y'all, I want to see I need to see what's the teaser for the next Wonder Woman movie. And Poodle needs to know where fucking Sue John Stevens is going to record his next album. Like, that's the shit
I would
we're
much
digging.
rather do a scene between Mother Debbie and her mole.
Yes.
Than find out what just happened. But
so we did not read the police report or anything of Paul and Karine from last week,
and we have since then.
We have so we just are clarifying because some of you were a little surprised and I want to just reference it. Some of you felt like we were taking Paul's side, and we weren't at all.
No,
we just didn't know all the information,
right.
And we, as we said last week, and we still are. We are Pierre and future child stan. Like we really want what's the best for those children because we feel like they're getting this. So bad.
And at the same time, we want Karine as far away from Paul as possible. So Karine should probably, if she can go, she wants to go back to Brazil.
Hopefully that we saw
she's safe now.
She's safe now. And she filed a police report.
We're glad that Pierre's, but we hope that in the future that if they can work out some agreement where Pierre can also see Paul, if that gets worked out. Or the most important thing is they're not together anymore, y'all.
Yes.
They're not good for one another. That's
they're horrible for one another.
That's
and again,
minimizing it.
We hope they go back to Brazil, or she goes back to Brazil. And, we're going to keep, we've talked to other people in the 90-day recovers, and we're kind of like, how do we handle this? And everybody's doing their own thing. For us, we still feel like we're going to keep talking about them for week.
Week by week, we're going to make decisions, you guys.
Now, because of Paul, we're going to fucking have to read the news
Paul.
about Paul and Karine. He ruins... So,
fucking chap lips.
We're just going to keep track of that. And if it ever gets to a situation where we feel like we don't want to give lip service to these people, this couple at all, or not even lip service, because that sounds like we're supporting them. We're never supporting Paul. We can go on record and say we are never supporting Paul.
Yeah.
We'll stop, though, if we feel like it gets there.
Yep.
So... Anyway, that's our stand-up. But until then,
so
y'all, we do this show about this show, and we're trying to, we're
giving you the play-by-play.
We're giving you the play-by-play. Is this the end of 90-Day Theater for Paul Friend? Maybe. We don't know.
And if it is, don't come at anyone else. You can come at us if you want.
Although... Paul is going to be running next week, and so if we feel he's a piece of shit, but we still want to make fun of him because he's a piece of shit. And
anyway,
and also I just want to say one more thing, and then I'm done. We make fun of him because that is the way. That might not be your way. Poodle and I make fun of things not only that are ridiculous, but that's a way for us to kind of make sense of things. You talked about that.
Exactly.
So if we're making fun of Paul, that's a way for us
to understand it.
It's shocking for us to see and read this too. So that's kind of where we are.
Meanwhile,
that said, nothing really happened.
Paul's got his head in a garbage bag.
He is a cat in a bag.
In a fucking garbage bag.
Cat in a bag.
A lot less interesting. Fran, can you? I'm looking for tongs and I broke them, Karine.
Oh, I can't find them. Oh, wow. Is that a gnome in here?
Yeah.
Hello, little gnome. Hello.
So they are. They live close to the train tracks, and Karine's very upset about this.
And by close to the train tracks, y'all, 20 feet away.
And she's like, and Paul's like, Fran, sometimes it is kind of scary when your whole house is shaking.
Just shake it.
I guess, and she says there weren't any trains in Tonachines, and he says, well, I guess the occasional gunshots and screaming and yelling was okay. Just a shitty like answer.
Yeah,
awful, y'all. Ugh. I will say, in the first couple of seasons with Paul and Karine, it was just more fun to make fun of him for being an idiot. Now it's
where
all...
you see, but he does. I think that's Paul thinks. At first, he often plays dumb, and poor me, I didn't know. But then, as you get to know him, you go, he's actually not that much of an idiot. He's lazy and he's insidious.
Yep, I agree. So she's like, Paul, get job. He's like, I'm networking. I'm connecting with people. I'm doing what I need to do.
I want to stop you there. Who does Paul need to network with and connect with?
What does his LinkedIn profile say?
Who is he texting? It is not... I mean, I thought about him today.
Strengths. I know a lot about ferrets, friend.
Ferrets. I was driving here today, and actually I saw a cement truck that said 40 available positions.
Cement truck.
That's what I said.
A cement truck.
Cement. That's what we called it.
Go to Cement Pond.
That's what we called it. Big Bear Cement. That's who did the cement for my dad.
Cement. Okay, fine.
So anyway,
we'll have to agree to disagree.
That's just not the way we say it in Oklahoma.
In the Cement Pond. Woo!
Ding, 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 ding. Anyway.
Good God. I do say umbrella, though, and it makes me sound like a ridiculous hick.
You say
Instead of umbrella, I say umbrella with an accent on the first syllable. It's how I was brought up.
See, I say cement.
Anyway.
Cement. I don't think I've ever... Cement.
Cement truck. It's in cement.
I guess that makes sense. So anyway, y'all.
In the cement.
I say cement. It's like wrestling.
That's colloquial, but the accent is different.
Anyway, Well, you waylaid me. I don't know what I was talking about
Okay.
now. So,
All the
boy,
better.
I guess I'm just going to sit here in
Something
silence.
about what would make Paul
in
be
a
better about
dunce hat.
networking or connecting.
I don't know who he's connecting with. I mean, I saw that cement truck, and it had a sign that said 40 available positions hiring right now. And I thought, I have worked.
He could be a cement
He could do
worker.
a cement. Like, Paul needs to do a job where he's just a hand.
I
Someone
agree.
points and says, do this, boy, son.
He thinks
and he does it.
He thinks he's better than that.
He
though.
thinks he's the boss.
Yep.
He thinks he should run people. That is
Fucking
not
mother,
what...
fucking Mother Pole hasn't really done a lot to help him think
No,
he's not worthy of it.
y'all, he needs to work. He could move. I don't want him to, but he could move to Ardmore, right by Lone Grove, because we've got the Dollar General warehouse. We've got the Michelin, the old General warehouse, the one that got torn down.
The
the
used
tornado.
tire plant.
He could literally. My friend Lori,
Now,
when
can
she
you
was
imagine what that smells like?
in tires, I've worked in there. It smells like tires. I worked with my dad. It's hot, but boy, it is. The people
Just burning tires, y'all.
now, and I'm not diminishing those people.
I'm
Because
sure they work
it is
hard.
really fucking hard, and really like some of them probably got cancer from working in this
Oh,
place.
you think?
But like, there's one job, tire throwing. You're just taking the trial.
Stop!
Yeah.
Stop right now.
No, that's the section of the plant.
Tire throwing.
They call it tire throwing. That's the section of the plant. Yeah. There's just tire throw because you take.
I refuse to think this is
No,
acceptable.
this is real. You can talk to anybody who works at it. Come as if you work at a tire plant, but you take the tires when they.
Come at me if you're a coal miner.
No,
and we had someone.
So we had some coal miner. When the tires come off the roller thing, the roller.
So
and they've
you
been,
throw them?
They've been pressed. You have to sort them. You have
They're
to sort
very
the tires.
heavy, though.
They are. It's a really hard job. I had friends in college and high school that worked there to make money to pay for college, and they threw tires. And
Does
I was
it
gonna,
destroy your body?
Yes, but I was going to say, or like my dad's third wife or ex-wife now, but she used to work at UPS sorting boxes. These are really hard jobs and really difficult jobs. However, all they take is somebody who is proud enough and wants to work hard enough to provide for their family.
Right.
And that is the problem with Paul.
Yeah.
He does not want to work hard.
I agree
He does
with
not
that.
want to provide for anyone but himself. See
So
how I went? It took me a while to get there, but that's what I meant.
tire throwing, and I'm like, no one knows what tire throwing is.
Because you know what? Those people that work in that old General plant, that Michelin plant, some of the hardest working people I've ever met.
Can we
ever.
never say Uniroll again?
Well, it was the old Uniroll, but then they became Michelin. So it's really Michelin, but
So-
not when I was there.
So y'all, just to move on.
I feel like people could take a tour of Ardmore and Lone Grove, and they
need
would
one.
know it.
I need one.
Should
and
I
I'm gonna,
provide guided
and I'm gonna
sissy
need
tours?
And I'm going to need Patrick to film it.
I want to get like one of those open air buses, and we drive and like say, this is the place where Grandma Hazel was thrown by the tornado.
I guarantee you, some people would take you up on
And then
this.
we could just, there's really only,
I'd stay home.
you know what? Then we could end it at Interurban at a happy hour and get drunk where I used to work.
Where you dropped food.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all, Karine basically says, you've got 2 months, Paul, or I'm going back to Brazil and I'm taking Pierre.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Paul's like, friend, it really hurt.
And he's like, well, he hasn't done anything.
He's done nothing.
Yeah. Even his mom thinks he's a deadbeat. Y'all, that's the show.
That is
This
the
was
show.
a long one, too. Y'all, this show is so long.
A lot of people, a lot of things happen for them. So it's what can we do? You know what? I do enjoy this season of Happily Ever After because it makes me feel like a better person.
That's true. Almost everybody's not a good person.
There's a lot of, but in a good, but in
It's,
the
yeah, I won't say that. I'll say a lot of relationships are very problematic.
a lot of people are very problematic. You're right. It's not like before. Like, we didn't have the Rebecca and the Ziads and all that, which is why y'all.
That was not happily ever after.
I know, but why it makes me so excited, because Poodle, what do we need in times like these? We need sisters. We need twin sisters. We need Darcy and Stacy.
We need the Silva twins.
Next week, y'all.
Sunday.
It's coming. The show airs on the 16th. I think I think
we're going to try to drop it that night.
I think
we
we're
talked
gonna,
about that.
because this is before we took on Lalu, but I think we are going to try to
do Lalu on Saturday.
That means we're going to drop. If you're our patron at the $8 level, that means you're getting 2 shows on Sunday.
Lalu, you're going to get Lalu on Saturday. We're going to try to put it up on Saturday.
Oh, we were
for a while, yeah.
I'm glad I'm editing now earlier, and you're making.
We were going to try to do Lalu. You're going to get Lalu. You're going to get Darcy and Stacy. You're going to get Happily Ever After. You're going to get Toe, and you're also going to get the bonus.
I don't know if I can see you on Saturday. That's our one day off.
Okay, we talked about this, but that's fine. Anyway, y'all are going to get 5 shows a week from us.
Poodle's going to be
I'm
drunk.
exhausted.
He's going to be drunk. Only in times of quarantine.
Pee. Let's just end this
All right,
show.
y'all. So you can find us at 90daygays.com. Again, if you jump on the $5 tier, I just want to remind people of the Gatreon. That's going to give you all the classic 90 Day Gays. It's also going to give you the binges, including Love is
Smothered.
Blind. It's going to give you all of Smothered. The $8 tier is going to include our Bi-Curious
Lalu!
episode. Indian Matchmaking was our Bi-Curious 6 month. You all are coming at us with a lot of shows for next month. We'll see.
You're also going to get Lalu on the $8 Love After Lockup.
And if you get the $15 tier, you're going to get all of that, including you're going to get our watch-alongs. The videos are 30-minute edited for your pleasure.
The Sissy Spotlight.
Sissy Spotlight, where you can call in and leave us a message. And then also you're going to get
our YouTube Live.
Our once-a-month YouTube Live. So that's what it all gets you. And all of them will make you gayer.
Yeah, and that's our job in life.
So, Poodle, we call these people lonely hearts because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love?
Yes.
In all the wrong places.
And if you have got thrown by a typhoon while screaming, "I need money!" Call us.